All right, this is Jennifer Woods, and this is my management plan. So the physical environment is I'm going to be having students sit in groups of 4 to work with one another. I'm going to have whiteboards in the front of the classroom and on the side, and my desk is in between the whiteboards and the overhead projector, so I have access to both, and I'm able to see all the students. In the back, I have pictures of all the students to create a classroom community, but not distract the students from their learning. And in the back is where I'm going to keep all of the organized paperwork for the students. So students, if they forget a material, they can just walk to the back instead of distracting students by walking to the front. All right, so I'm going to open class. I'm going to be standing at the door greeting students and handing up a piece of warm-up paper. Their warm-up will be on the whiteboard so they can sit down and start their warm-up. During this time, students who did not understand a homework problem will go up and write on a different whiteboard the homework problems they struggled with, and other students get to come up and answer those problems. I'm going to close the routine. I really like for students to have 3 minutes so I can hand out homework. They could clear their desks to keep the classroom organized, make sure they have everything. And I'd like to end class with an exit ticket just so I can check for their understanding by looking at an exit ticket and seeing what they've learned. Rules and expectations. It's a work in progress here. I took this from Belongingness, the paper that we were asked to read. Applying fair and consistent disciplinary policies that are collectively agreed upon and enforced. So I would like to write in my syllabus, the policies, but I would like to create them with the students and write them up and then put them on the classroom and have them posted. Especially, I think this is most important for technology because I feel like if students have a fair idea of what's expected of them in terms of turning off their phone, they may be more receptive to that type of rule. I do want to have all of the parents sign to understand what is expected of them, of their students. And I want to collect all of the parents' emails so I can send out emails in groups to say to the parents, oh, they're going to have a test. So the parents do know what is expected of their children. This is also from Belongingness, fostering a high parent-family expectations. And last but not least, I would like to create a survey just to understand, get to know my students, but also understand how do they learn best in math. I feel like I'll be able to structure my classroom more about how the students learn through this survey. Now, a classroom community, I would like to create a sense of belongingness. The first day of school, I would like to have name games, an interest survey, like I'd mentioned previously, where students can tell me about themselves, and on top of that, tell me how they learn math best, whether it's collaboratively, direct instruction, just by themselves. It'll give me an idea of how I want to structure my class for the rest of the year. Also, classroom community, increasing participation by fostering equal status interactions. That's from Shifting Expectations. So I would like to create a collaborative learning environment. So instruction centered on students' thinking and student contribution by Vygotsky. And I would also like to incorporate social constructivism, which I've learned in a previous class, which is a social interaction and cooperative learning. I would like to have pictures of students in my classroom so they feel like they belong in the classroom if their pictures are on the board. And I would like to promote a social emotional environment, which I've learned in TE 922, which is seating arrangements, maintain an organized classroom, and help students manage emotions. And I would also like students to be able to share their accomplishments, whether it's at the beginning of class, at the end of class, to know that their voice is being heard. And last but not least, consequences. So I would like to have a restorative practice approach, which I also learned in my classroom management class, which is listening before reacting and agreement rather than punishment. So hearing students out and coming up with an agreement so their behavior can change, but they're okay with that behavior change. And inappropriate behavior, I will ask students quietly to step outside or stay after class. So positive behavior, they can listen to music, they may get their homework early, they can sit where they want, they can move around, maybe group quizzes as opposed to individual quizzes. And if a student disrespects a volunteer, I can take away certain privileges, such as listening to music while they do work. Maybe I'll give specific students one-on-one talks. I may have students write notes and give me their perspective what happened, so I can look at the notes and kind of understand the student's point of view and the volunteer's point of view, so maybe I can come up with an agreement with the students. Or I'll come home if it's very problematic. So that is just my classroom structure, my management classroom as a novice teacher.